Hey guys, Johnny Rayne here, and I want to share with you what it took for me to make my movie Forever Fighter. My buddy Keaton, my DP, calls it the Johnny Rayne method. This is the method that I've sort of developed that I think you can apply or you can take from to apply to your filmmaking skills. So first of all, I just want you to know I don't have a degree in filmmaking. I do not. But I do have a degree. I'm a trained professional actor, so I'm good at storytelling. It's kind of what I do. So in order to make this film, I had to figure out how to make a film. So asking Google gave me a lot of options. But then following that, I was like, okay, I need to read some books. I got to figure out hands-on how to do this and how to make it happen for myself. So I Googled the 10 best books in the world on filmmaking. And I was lucky enough to get a whole bunch of lists, and I just went for it. And after that, I ordered them on Amazon, and I pounded through them in a month. So here's some of the books that I read that I want to share with you that you could possibly read to get inspiration, to get ideas, to help you with your filmmaking or your feature filmmaking. A lot of people make shorts, but not many people make feature films. So one of the first books I read was Rebel Without a Crew. So Robert Rodriguez, he made I think a $6,000 or $8,000 action movie. We have to remember one thing about Robert Rodriguez. He is a trained professional filmmaker. He has a school, he has the experience, he knew how to do it all. So he was able to put it together for a low budget and get the film done for under $6,000 because he could save money on post-production. Well, for me, my movie cost me just under $13,000 to make a feature film, but I had to, my money went into post-production because I didn't know how to do that part. So this book is good to read. It'll help you get the concept of how to make a film or go through in the process of making a film. Just idea book. I like it. One of the books I read was Hollywood Dream Making or Deal Making. Hollywood Dream Making. That'd be a good book. Hollywood Deal Making. This book has a lot in it about the business side of the stuff that goes on beyond films, beyond the contracts, the TV, all that stuff that you need to know about film. This is a good book to read for after you make your movie. You don't have to go through the whole thing, but it gives you ideas on how the process works, which is, it's important to know. So, Hollywood Deal Making, good to read. Another thing I liked is The Law. Okay, so law. Contracts are important. The Pocket Lawyer for Filmmakers. This is a great book that I enjoyed reading by Thomas A. Crowell. And it was a good book. It covers a lot of things about how this whole thing comes together. Another idea book. Okay, you can skim through it. I read the most important things that I needed to learn, and I picked through it and I got what I needed out of it. Okay, good book to you guys to read. Okay, another book that I have here is this is a fatty. I went through this one. Is Contracts for the Film and Television Industry, 3rd edition. Many different editions, but it's a good book by Mark Litwak. And this book's a fat book, so I don't recommend you go through it all, but you can read through different contracts. You're going to have to contract locations. You're going to have to contract actors. You're going to have to contract the DP. You're going to have to get contract. What is a contract? So a contract, in short terms, best explained by this book and many other law books, is a binding handshake on paper. So that way there's proof that you guys agreed upon a deal. So that's important to understand from the business standpoint that no matter who works on your film, if they do take any part in the creative aspect of it or any part in the money aspect of it where they help you with money or you pay them for a service, you got to have a contract, some kind of legal binding document. I don't care if you do it on a piece of paper or on a napkin and just say, hey, you're working for me, we agreed on this much money, blah, 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 done. Okay, just have that done. It's important, okay? It's really important to filmmaking. That's another fat book. Okay, directing actors. Well, I'm an actor, so I'm a trained professional. I learned a lot of that in school, but it's nice to read this. Most of you that don't understand that, this book gives you, it's by Judith Weston. She gives you an idea how the actor language goes. Like, telling an actor, I need you to cry here. That's not always going to make an actor cry, but telling them, hey, I need you to provide stronger given circumstances. And that being said, an actor can go, okay, so I'm not making a strong enough choice. That's right, you're not making a strong enough choice. So it helps you create dialogue between the director and the actor, which is really important when talking to an actor if you never dealt with an actor before, or when dealing with actors. Some are really intelligent, some are not. Some get you before you get them. But usually this book helps you build a bridge between the actor and the director, okay? Another book I read is The Hollywood Economist. By Edward J. Epstein. It's a good book on how to get the movie out there. Once again, another business book on how all the stuff comes to be, how to make a movie, how to get money, how to get budget. I read it. More likely you will have a low budget. like I did for my feature film. So a lot of this you don't have to deal with till afterwards. If you're a cool filmmaker, you know people, and you get money for your budget, this book is good to know how to put it to work, how to make it work for you. And it's a really good book. I enjoyed it. Good read. About 90% of it I couldn't use, but nonetheless, one of the books I read. The DV Rebel's Guide to Killer Action Movies. Now, I don't know why the hell I read this book, but it was a good book on how to approach a filmmaking. Half the book is just a bunch of stuff that I knew nothing about in the digital world of media and guns and all that other stuff and CGI, which you probably know more than me on filmmaking. But anyway, this book was good for that. Good to send me out how to set up a scene, how to create the room, how to get the cameras going, how the whole flow is gonna happen on a film set. So a good book to read, all right? Especially if you make an action movie, okay? One of my favorite books that I read was Edward Dimtrick on Film Editing. I thought this book was a really well designed book. It explained to you why you do what you do in editing. It gives you so many ideas and perspectives on editing a film, which is where a film gets put together. Most of you know this, most filmmakers out there that don't know this, this is my #1 book you should read. I mean, this is where a film comes together. So you have to understand how a film's supposed to flow through the editing process. If you're an editor, you get it. But as a director or as a first-time filmmaker like I was, this book really helped me capture a story, the flow of it. You know, doing stage acting, I get you have to paint the picture on a stage, which is wonderful because it gives you a chance to see what it's like. It's same thing with film, but you get the audience, instead of being this big room of 50 people, the camera's right here. So you really have to focus in on what you want the camera to see, and then how you put it together. That's where this book comes in. I thought it was a wonderful book. All right, one of the other books that I have that I read was Master Shots, 2nd edition. This was a great book. It showed a lot on cinematography, how to capture angles, gives you examples from films. I loved it. It gave me a good picture on how camera flows, different kinds of people, different kinds of scenes, different kinds of characters, different kind of genres. It was a really good book. If you never shot a film before and you want to shoot a film, read this book, Master Shots. It's a really good book. And I had my 10th book here, but apparently I forgot it somewhere. It was a fat book. I forgot even what it's called, but it was all on cinematography. The breakdown of how to set up a over the shoulder, close-up shots, and how the shots flow together. So that was a really good book. I don't have it. I lost it. I forgot what it's called. But you should definitely get a book on how the different kinds of angles that exist out there on cinematography. If you've never been a cinematographer, you never gone to school for it. I found that these 10 books together really helped me paint a great picture on how to make a movie. And it doesn't give you the answers. You're never going to get the answers on how to make a film, but it does give you an idea. And the one thing I want to let you know that's really cool about all these books is the one thing you're going to get out of them is that you will learn that making a movie is not as hard as you think it is. It just requires time, effort, and energy. Okay? Time, effort, and energy. And you got to have those 3 things to achieve a film. You're not doing rocket science here. Okay? You're not going to the moon. You're not building a building. You're not doing anything that's overly dramatic or overly too big for anyone to do. You're just telling a story. So always focus and remember that you got to tell a story, okay? Well, thank you for tuning in. These are the 10 books that I read. I hope they can help you out to making a feature film. They surely help me out. But at the end, remember, trust your own gut, trust your own senses, and just tell a story. And I guarantee you'll succeed with that. Thank you very much, and take care.